So if you're a jiu-jitsu athlete or hobbyist or grappler that's struggling with some type of pain, whether it be in your hip, your spine, your back, your neck, your shoulders, anything like that, I'm gonna give you the absolute best stretching and mobility routine that you can do every day that you will feel instant pain relief after each time that you do it. It'll get better and better. Now, the idea of the stretching routine is to help loosen up any of those tight muscles that could be causing a potential problem. Okay, every single issue that you have is going to be obviously very specific to you. If you're feeling certain pains, it's probably coming from something else. And that's what can be a little bit complicated about pain, because if you're just directly looking at the source of the pain, then you're not actually going to solve the pain. So as an example, you could do these stretches for your hips that feel tight, but if there's something wrong with your feet and the way that you're going about your lifestyle, like if you're sitting down a lot throughout the day, if you're playing jiu-jitsu in a way that is going to put more pressure on those things, like for an example, if you have a lower back pain or neck pain and you're inverting constantly, that's going to make that pain worse. So what you want to do is you want to do this mobility and stretching routine as something that's part of your routine that you can do regularly to kind of help manage the symptoms, but it's also important that you're looking at not only the symptoms but the problem itself. So something that I can do is I can actually run you through a fitness test where we'll go over the phone and I'll walk you through a few exercises that I have that will help me help me see what weak points that you have, and I can prescribe like an actual program specifically for that issue. Okay, so if you want to know more about that, you can just fill out the form below, either in the description or I can send a direct link. You can also book a call with me as well, and then we'll be able to do that fitness test. Okay, but for now, let's watch this video and let's start to understand what exercises are going to be best. So the idea here is that we want to target the big problems here, which is going to be those hip flexors here. Your hip flexors run all the way from the top of your quad up through your lower abdomen into your lower back and can really lead deep even into your spine. So we really want to focus on loosening that up. We're going to be using certain type of stretching, and we're also going to be using a lacrosse ball to target certain areas as well. The lacrosse ball is great for neck issues because you can roll out your traps, which if you do regularly, it will definitely hurt while you do it, but you'll feel a lot better afterwards. You can roll out your shoulders, you can roll out your chest, you can even roll out your lower back. You can roll into the side of your hip and into the front of your hips as well. You can get into the quads, you can get into the bottoms of the feet, you can get the calves, you can get all of those things using the lacrosse ball. So this is definitely an important tool to have, but you want to go through some of the stretching and mobility first. Okay, so with all that to kind of preface this, we're going to go through some of the drills now, and I'm telling you, if you spend 20 to 30 minutes doing this, you're going to feel a lot better. Okay, the first thing we're going to do as just a kind of way to have a general warm-up is we're going to go through the cat camel first. What this is going to do is kind of relieve some tension of the nerves in the spine. So we're just going to be on all fours here. You're going to round your spine as you exhale in through your stomach. So you go. The idea here is you want to relax your spine as you round everything in, tuck your chin to your chest, roll, and then inhale as you come up. Inhale, open up that chest, extend the shoulders, look up as much as you can, and then flexion again. Go into that rounded position, exhaling. You can also explore your body here. You can come side to side a little bit. The idea here is that you just want to kind of start moving your spine around. You want to move your shoulders. You want to move your hips and kind of get into that mind-body connection to start just getting everything loosened up. The first stretch we're going to do is for our hip flexor. We can go into this lunge position here. My back foot is staying like this onto the toes, and I'm going to breathe in through my stomach. I'm going to round my hips here in and tuck it in. It's going to engage that hip flexor. I'm going to very gently start to lunge my weight forward. Try not to overextend at the back. You're pushing at the hips. You can play around with how wide your feet go. You can also open up this knee. You're going to feel a deep stretch from your lower abdomen into the top of your quad. You want to try to hold that position for about 2 to 3 minutes until you feel that tension start to relax. And obviously, You would do the same for the other side here, feeling everything open up, holding. You can put your hands behind your head, open up that chest a little bit if you want, but you want to hold this position until you feel that tension release. That's that myofascial release. That's what you're looking for from every one of these stretches. So that's going to be the first one here. The second one here for your piriformis or your IT band or your glute, it's going to hit all those areas. You're going to lay flat on your back. You're going to bring your ankle in front of your thigh like so, like you're doing a triangle, but in front of your thigh, right? So now you're going to pull your knee towards your chest, and you're going to keep your back flat, and you're going to feel the glute on this leg stretching. But then on this side, I would feel the glute on this side. We're going to feel this open up here. And again, the key to making these work is holding it for 2 to 3 minutes for each one. Okay, so this is really going to open up your hips. You can also, for this lunge one too, you can also prop your foot up on a bench or a couch, or you can elevate your foot as well, and that will increase the intensity of the stretch. Those are probably the two most important ones. Like if you just focus on doing that, that's gonna make a big difference too. But we're gonna now start to open up those shoulder blades and open up that chest. So we're gonna come back into like a referee's position here on our hands. And I'm gonna put my hand behind my head here. I wanna engage that stomach, squeezing, and I'm gonna rotate my right shoulder forward this way and open up my elbow as much as I can. I'm gonna feel that stretch in the chest and shoulders. And I'm gonna feel that upper back opening up a little bit. Maybe you can only go to here, that's fine. You're just trying to get the best that you can. And once you feel like it's kind of stuck and tense, you just wanna breathe and try to let that relax. The more you open up, what we know about pain is the more range of motion that you have to that joint and you relax through that tension, it's gonna start to feel a lot better, okay? Those are gonna be your main ones. If you do cat camel, you have your lunge, that figure 4 stretch, and then you have this thoracic opener. Those are really gonna be the main ones that you have to focus on. There's a few other things that you can do too, like stretching out your hamstrings and stuff. Most people do that. The problem is that you need to loosen up the tight areas. Just like we were talking about before, we need to loosen up the tight areas, but we need to strengthen the weak areas. So this is a really important part of, you know, having this routine here, is we want to do the stretching to loosen up those tight muscles. Then we want to do strengthening, which is going to be a different topic for a different video. But continuing on with what we're trying to do here, let's now look at one more stretch. So this is just going to be like a decompression that you can do. So what you're going to do is you're going to be back here on all fours. You're going to bring your butt back towards your feet, and you're going to bring your hands out in front of you like so, and you're going to draw your weight back as you keep your arms extended, coming back this way. And I want you to imagine like your head is pulling forward and your fingertips are forward and your tailbone is coming back. So it's going to act as like a decompression. And again, the same idea applies here, that we want to try to hold that and so you feel that release of tension. Now I want you to play between both sides. One arm coming this way to open up this wing on this side, and then your other arm coming around here. And again, holding it for 2 to 3 minutes on each one. So those are 5 really good stretches that you can do. After you do that mobility routine, you're gonna take your lacrosse ball and you're gonna work through some of the areas that you feel a lot of pain. So if it's that IT band here, this is a pretty common spot. You're gonna put that lacrosse ball down, you're gonna put weight there, and I'm like basically bridging off my feet and my forearm to roll into that. You can get into the low back as well. Just laying flat on it like this, pulling your knee towards your chest, loosening that up. And then the best one here, especially for your neck, you're gonna get into the traps. So you're gonna put weight into that upper back, bridging my hips up, and I'm gonna put weight there, and I can even move my arm around and really play around with how my body feels. The lacrosse ball is definitely very painful, but if you do it, I promise you're gonna feel a ton better. You're gonna feel so much better after you do this. So these are some good mobility routines that you can do to relieve pain. Let me know how it works for you. Let's see if it helps. And again, this is just part 1. We want to stretch out those tight muscles. We want to start strengthening up those weak muscles. So all you got to do is, if you want, fill out a form right below, or let me know about the form. I'll send it to you. We'll book a call, and then we will move forward with that. Okay. Otherwise, I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you want to see next.